Welcome everyone to this episode of the Palmetto Guardian. I'm Sergeant Chelsea Baker.
And I'm Specialist David Erskine. And today we have two special young ladies with us who are going to introduce themselves and the program that they're here representing.
I am Sergeant First Class Felicia Penn, and I've been in the Guard now 20 years, and I'm here representing Women's Influential Network.
And I am Major Latasha O'Neil, and I too am in the National Guard, and I've been in for 19 years, and I too am representing the Women's Influential Network.
Now, before we get into the WIN, as it's commonly referred to, if I've got that correct, a little bit, MOS's career, where you work at, what you do now? Outside of this.
I am a 92 Yankee. Supply, been in supply for many, many years now, but I'm also AGR soldier, been AGR for the past 14 years. I currently work in the G3 with a really dynamic team. I am the mobilization NCO for the state, and really love what I do and absolutely enjoy being a part of the South Carolina Army National Guard.
That's a lot of stuff. All right. Yes, ma'am. Now, can you top that list real quick?
I don't think I'll be able to.
That's pretty impressive. But go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I am a 90 Alpha logistics officer. I am currently with the 751st Combat Sustainment Support Battalion. I serve as a battalion XO there. On the full-time side, I am a technician, and I supervise the unit train equipment site at McCready Training Center.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good folks out there. Good folks out there. I've been out there a few times. Yeah, Pat has their vehicos over there on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah,
right?
definitely all the time.
Yeah, see, she knows. All right, so let's get into it a little bit here. Let's talk about WIN. Jump in. Tell us what WIN is, what it's all about.
Okay, so the Women's Influential Network offers a professional mentoring program for minority females serving in the South Carolina Army National Guard. We strive to achieve this by providing opportunities for soldiers to gain tools and expertise needed to build and sustain a successful military and civilian career. We are also a transparent resource for minority female soldiers who may be struggling in certain areas of their military career. Cool.
Now, you mentioned the mentorship. Just kind of expand on that, I guess, real quick. Is this statewide? Do y'all have people selected at units at this point in time, or is it just one localized area here that people can reach back to y'all on?
So right now we are broadening, trying to expand throughout the state. We will have regions set up where we have regional liaisons in each area, one in the upstate, the low country, the Midlands, and the PD region that will serve as liaisons to help push WIN and what we're trying to do whenever we do workshops and events of that nature. Okay.
And so with that being said, obviously that's kind of just a brief overview of what the program actually is. But what kind of kicked this off? What made this become a priority and move this way towards this organization?
So actually, what happened with WIN, it actually was birthed from a really dynamic and true place within our hearts. We looked around in the South Carolina Army National Guard at minority women, and we looked around at ourselves, and we really saw that there were some awesome, just dynamic things that were happening amongst ourselves and amongst other minority women, and we were really excited about it. So we wanted to do something to just keep this going. But on the other hand, we also looked around and we saw some challenges that we face and some challenges that minority women within the South Carolina Army National Guard face. And we really wanted to do something about that. We wanted to find a way to make a really positive impact, to really motivate the minority female soldiers of the South Carolina Army National Guard and let them know that, hey, you can, really achieve within your career. There are some things that you can really do. There are some people who have gone before you that have achieved. They've made Forberg Colonel, or they've made First Sergeant or Sergeant Major, and you can also do those things as well. So it just really came from a group of women that decided, hey, let's get together and let's meet. And we met for over the course of probably about 18 months. And we, sat around our kitchen tables, and all of us, we didn't really know each other. We knew that we were in the Guard, and we knew that we possessed that same passion and drive. And we were like, hey, let's try to make this happen, not just for ourselves, but for those that are coming behind us.
Now, why do you feel, because you mentioned, once again, the mentorship is kind of a big topic, kind of keep what comes around here. And I think you touched on it a little bit there, but expand on it a little bit about why this type of mentorship is important for this section of soldiers.
Well, we believe this type of mentorship is important because there's a high percentage of minority females in the South Carolina, serving in the South Carolina National Guard, who may fail to reach their full potential in their career due to the lack of awareness, due to lack of engagement or representation. So we believe, as a group, we believe that representation matters. And so when you see other soldiers that look like you, or may have the same cultural experience or the same background, and you see them excelling up the ladder or just excelling in general, that can inspire young women to do the same.
Now, I said soldiers, and I want to back up because I'm not clear, and I'm going to ask this question for my knowledge and for the knowledge of everybody out there listening and watching. Have y'all got to the point, or is this organization inclusive of the Air Guard also, or is it just an Army initiative right now, and maybe hopes and dreams of one day incorporating folks from the Air Guard side as an all South Carolina National Guard type program, or am I incorrect in that process as of yet?
So
Yeah. So yeah, that's
I didn't know if I worded that right. All right,
that's
maybe.
a really great question. I'm so glad that you asked that, and we've been asked that question before. We've had someone from other branch of service, Air Force, et cetera, that have reached out and said, hey, that's an awesome thing that you guys are doing. We want to do something like that. And while we have yet to take that step, we're excited about it. We do encourage the type of vision and mission that WIN has. We encourage that around all branches because it's an awesome thing.
Yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, y'all are very much in your infancy at this point in time with the program, making leaps and bounds even at such an early stage in the game. But there's obviously, with that point being made, there's massive room to grow with this situation. You want to jump in?
Sure.
It's weird.
Why is it weird?
I got to reposition this thing. I got to get where I can see you out of the corner of my eye to see if you're making faces at me to ask a question. Sorry about that. Go ahead. What you got?
I'm kind of curious are you both, I guess, part of the original group that started everything? Or did you guys kind of come on after and I don't know what
You're asking if they're core members
or
if they were brought into the fold as part of the outreach and growth of the WIN program.
Sure.
Is that what you were trying to ask? That's
You're better with words.
So, yes, we are part of the 9 visionaries that pretty much established WIN. And the goal is to recruit other young ladies or other minority women to come in and be a part of this as we expand and grow.
So obviously that's one of your focuses for the program is to expand and grow and include other young ladies as we said into the program. But what other focuses does WIN as an organization have?
Yeah, so that's a great question as well. And while it is important for us to tell you who we are and what our focus is, we just want to make sure that we tell you who we are not and what our focus is not as well. So for our listeners, we just want to make sure that they understand that WIN is not, we're not a group that's seeking to promote our race or any race or gender superior to others. We're not a complaint group or any source of that nature. We are not a supplement to your chain of command. We still want soldiers to utilize your chain of command. We still want them to recognize that we're not serving as career counselors. You mentioned the word member. We're trying to stay away from that word.
Okay.
We generally want to be looked
member.
at as a resource.
Gotcha.
Is what we really want to do. And our main focus is, number one, is retention. So as Major O'Neil mentioned, initially we looked at the percentage of minority females within the South Carolina Army National Guard, and we saw that retention rate was really low. And so we really want to help to increase that and let soldiers know that they do have the potential to complete their service within the South Carolina Army National Guard and to actually achieve retirement. We focus on professional development, making sure that soldiers understand that professional development is vital, it's very important. And we also focus on how you can balance your personal and your professional career, because as we gathered around the table and we realized that, we're also mothers, we're also wives, and some of us that are not full-time actually have civilian jobs. And so we realized that, we're actually accomplishing some things. We're doing both. Some of us are doing both. We're actually going to school. We're raising children. And for some soldiers, that's a really hard thing, male and female. That's a really hard thing. But there are soldiers out there that are doing that. So just helping them to realize that you can balance both. That's a very vital focus for us. And then also promoting discipline and standards. And, as a young soldier, before, I'm not as young now, but when I first, enlisted into the South Carolina Army National Guard as a young soldier, it's hard, sometimes when you are coming from an environment where you might not be used to the discipline and the standards, but we want to be the resource that kind of encourages that and let soldiers know what the importance is. You may not understand it as a E2 or E3 or E4, but once you become a E5 or E6 or E7 or a first lieutenant, a major or whatever, it's important. Discipline is important. So that's one of our major focuses as well.
That's a lot of focuses. That was a lot of focuses. That's good though. That's good. It's good to see that there's diversity within the agenda, and it's a kind of I think the term they use nowadays amongst the young folks is a holistic approach to it, as it were. Now, what type of impact are y'all hoping or already is having, WIN is having on the Guard?
So in keeping with the TAG's vision of being led by competent, capable, caring, and professional leaders, WIN strives to set the example to be that blueprint of competent, capable, and caring professional leaders for minority soldiers within the South Carolina Army National Guard. So pretty much we want soldiers to know that they have the ability to reach their goals and excel to their highest potential if given the opportunity, when given the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great, and I think that's always important, especially for younger soldiers, because, like you mentioned, you don't know what background or where somebody may or may not be coming from, and working and navigating the ropes of your career can be extremely hard sometimes with the absence of information.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And it never seems that one person actually has all the information. It's just the way it works. And it really does kind of still the old adage, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
I think we're applying that a little bit here, not to say that any soldier is a child, but that same mentality of a group coming around them and sure to lift them up and push them ahead so that they can one day do the same thing. I've noticed in my time in the military, that's been one of my I don't want to say concerns, but maybe concerns is you see a lot of times with older soldiers, airmen as well. I spent time in the Air Guard also, is they kind of hold on to that information and they don't pass it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you got the next generation fumbling through the exact same thing that you fumbled through.
Yeah.
Why? Just it's not yours to hold. Pass it so that it goes,
Information.
It's not in a safe box, and no guard dogs, nothing like that. So, now along with this, WIN also puts on events. Y'all have had 1, 2 so far.
So we've had a couple of events. We had one back in August of 2019, which was our launch. We were super excited about that, where we had the TAG and the DAG support as well. But we launched WIN, where soldiers were able to come in and hear more about the program. We had a really dynamic speaker from the Maryland National Guard, which was an African American female sergeant major. She was awesome, and soldiers got the opportunity to see that, there's someone that looks like me, that came from the same background and culture as me, so I actually can do this. So that was really important. We had the opportunity to share with soldiers that you might not necessarily have to be a minority leader in order to mentor someone. I haven't always been mentored by someone that looks like me or came from the same background as me, and that's okay. So we really had the opportunity just to share at that launch what WIN was all about, what our mission was, and then we're also hosting quarterly workshops. So we had the first one, I believe, in
October
of last year in Darlington at the Darlington Army National Guard unit, and it was very awesome. We started out with a icebreaker with the Kiersey temperament icebreaker survey, in which soldiers got the opportunity to learn more about themselves. We got to learn more about each other, how we lead and how others lead. Just, different things that I may have experienced may have caused me to have some rifts and shifts in my leadership style, but just, learning from each other. We had 2 classes where soldiers got to learn more about the NCOER and the OER process and how you do those evals and the importance of them. And then we also discussed the importance of mentorship and why mentorship is important and how beneficial it can be. And so we're really excited about the quarterly workshops. We actually have the next one that is going to happen on this month, on the 29th of February. Which is why we have these lovely kettlebell.
We have props out for those who are listening on iTunes.
Yes, so definitely want to invite everyone who can. Again, it's not just for females of the South Carolina Army National Guard, but any soldier is always welcome to participate. But this is going to be a really dynamic event because we're going to be going through some lanes of the Army Combat Fitness Test. And we have Lieutenant Colonel Retired Hammond, who is going to actually take us through the ACFT, and he is going to show us how we can better prepare for it. And so we'll also have some classes on nutrition, the importance of eating healthy and dieting. Master Sergeant Andre Anderson is going to take that on. So we'll have some really great information. Again, this is going to be on the 29th of February, and the workshop will start at 10:30. Promptly at 10:30, and we'll probably finish up about 1300. But it's an event that you don't want to miss. We're going to have some really good, healthy food. Get an opportunity to really get to know each other and mentor each other.
Okay, and that's going to be.
It's the 29th.
Is it here?
It's going to be at the JFARC.
Okay, all right.
McIntyre.
Yeah, McIntyre. Okay, all right, and all that information will be available. All right, so you'll be able to find it. Won't be an issue. That's super awesome. That's great with it, especially with the ACFT. And a lot of people pre-stressing about it, but I feel like South Carolina National Guard's doing, and of course y'all are adding that piece also of getting everybody kind of ready to go for this thing. So as we mentioned before, no members. You corrected me.
Yeah.
Now I know.
You're a resource. Everyone is welcome.
That's right. So how then do people get involved, find out about y'all, all that kind of stuff?
So anyone can participate in any WIN event that we host. And Women's Influential Network is an equal opportunity organization that is committed to creating an inclusive and diverse environment. And that EO statement can also be found on our women'sinfluentialnetwork.org website, the full EO statement there. And also you can follow us on Facebook at WIN SC Guard. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and it's WIN_SC Guard for any motivational posts that we post on that. Workouts during the week, we do this thing called Workout Wednesdays, where one of the ladies posts workouts suggestions that you could do for the day to kind of help you for the ACFT. And any accomplishments are shared by any winners. So therefore, people who are kind of participating with WIN, but then other soldiers throughout the Guard as well who we highlight and show that their success and accomplishments, and also any details about upcoming events and more. So you can just follow us on those handles. Again, Facebook, Win SC Guard, Twitter, Instagram, Win_SC Guard.
Very cool. Very cool. We'll make sure, for those who are watching on YouTube or go check out the YouTube channel, we'll make sure that we put links to all that below in the description so that y'all have it there for you. Very interesting. Very outstanding. What y'all are doing, what y'all got going on. Super cool. Y'all are making, like I said, leaps and bounds for a program that's in its infancy, like I said, for all intents and purposes. I'm kind of excited to see where y'all wind up with this thing. I'm glad to see that y'all have already had interaction from the Air Guard side, and hopefully at some point in time that leap works out for y'all. That'll be great. Anything else you two young ladies would like to add? Shout out to Lois, hi to Mom, or anything like that while we got you here? Or?
Yeah, just wanted to add that again, any soldier of the South Carolina Army National Guard is welcome to any of our WIN events. So looking forward to seeing everybody at the workshop at the JFARC, 29 February, 10:30.
And I want to thank the SC Guard PAO office.
Yeah, appreciate you guys
for
awesome job.
hosting us today. We
Yeah.
appreciate you allowing us this opportunity
Yeah.
to be on the podcast to share WIN with everyone.
Yeah, and that's that's what we want. That's what we're here for. We're glad we're able to highlight both the program and, more importantly, the soldiers that are involved in it, because really that's what it boils down to is the soldiers' improvement of their life, their careers, things of that nature.
Yeah, and also I just want to mention that we really do thank the TAG and the DAG, because they are supporting this resource, this organization, and just WIN is also supporting the mission of the South Carolina Army National Guard, and we just want to be an additional resource for soldiers.
It's beneficial up and down both roads.
Yes.
That's great. Like I said, holding on to the information and stuff, and passing it down. Y'all are holding. Y'all are passing. Other people hold. Y'all are passing. Let's get that right.
Yeah.
All right. Sergeant Baker, you want to take us home on this one?
Sure, I'll take it home.
All
All
right.
right. Like always, if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to our channel, and we will catch you guys in the next episode.